YouTube, Mo's Nose fam, we are here. We're doing things a little bit different today. Last year, this person was a special guest. This year, he's family. We're in our live, actually not live, tonight is live, but we're in our team mock draft series. Tonight, we're going live. All these other videos have been pre-recorded. I've been putting them out on the channel. Tonight, we're doing it live. Some good interaction with another Dynamite fan, another Dynamite content creator. We'll be right back with you in a second.
Sorry, Mose couldn't be here, but he doing the Mrs. Mosley thing right now. You know what they're out doing. They're enjoying Valentine's Day is what I was trying to say.
I got you.
Y'all the worst.
You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that. Mose know it all. Mose know it all. I guarantee real taste, ain't no faking that at all. If you don't know, you gon' know. Mose knows, tune into the show. Not a game, nitty gritty, ready go committee. Mose should be the CEO. Too solid, too real, too 100. I'ma keep it real when you don't. Just that real gold talk. 24 karat words. San Francisco 49er fam. Realest squad on the earth. The 5 God, number 5, taking us to 6. Young killer Trey Lance. New era, new season. Mose got you covered. Go ahead and subscribe. 2022 this year. Got a whole nother vibe. Mose know it all. Mose know it all. Mose know it all. Tune in for the vibe. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that. Mose knows.
Got to get the Birdman hands rubbing together. I'm so excited about this. I reached out to my brother. I said, bro, I'm doing the mock draft series. I need to have you on. We got to do it live for the people, for the Commanders. Say, all hail to the Commanders. We got to do it for the people. He said, I'm down. We found the time. It's right now. I'm going to bring him in. The chief commander, my brother, Rio Robinson of the Ramblin Rio YouTube channel. Rio, what's good with you, bro?
What's going on, big dog? First of all, congratulations on the 1,000 sub milestone. That's when you get your feet wet. You done collected. You earned what you got, and you build on from there. Love the intro song. That joint fire. That tailgate at the end. That looks real live, man. Y'all can bring that down to FedEx when the boys come down to see my Durs this year. Let's get it. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, man.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to get the congestion up out of me. But, man, I'm feeling good, man. We're in the time now where today is April 4th. That means we are 23 days away from the 2023 NFL draft, man. And we are here. This is episode 16 in the full team mock draft series. And we are on your Washington Commanders, man. So let's first start with your outlook of 2022. There was the Carson Wentz experiment. There was the Taylor Heineke, and then the Sam Howell injuries all over the place. Ultimately, you guys ended 8-1.
The usual.
So not too bad. You know, ended 500 with a tie. But give me your thoughts on 2022. What was that season like for you, and just the outlook going into the offseason?
First and foremost, it was cool to rein in a new era, new uniforms, and see some new shit going on. But to outlook the entire season, I would categorize it as same old Washington shit, because the Washington Redskins football team Commanders that I know and love, that I hold near and dear to my heart, we're never good, we're never bad. We're right teetering on the line of mediocrity. So since Ron got here, we went 7-9. The league added a game to the season. We went 7-10, and we probably should have been another 7 win. We should have won 7 games 3 different ways under Rivera so far, but we finished 8-1 because we decided to tie a game in New York in which we led by 10 points in the first half and had the ball on the Giants' 40-yard line in overtime. But the main idea, the main theme of 2022 is that we missed a golden opportunity to really see what Sam Howell was during that season. Carson Wentz, the guy you gave all this money, once he broke his finger versus the Chicago Bears when we were sitting at 2-4, the plan should have immediately shifted, or at least coaches with foresight, a good coaching staff would have immediately shifted to, let's let Taylor play a couple weeks, but let's get the kid ready to play because he's easily the most talented quarterback on the roster. I went to 8 training camp sessions last year. I watched everything Howell did at North Carolina. Before playing a snap, it's easy to tell who the most talented quarterback on the roster is. Don't tell me he's not ready for 10 weeks straight until the Dallas week and then try to parade his name around all offseason like, oh, man, we love what he was doing in practice. He was killing it out there. The guys on defense say the scout team moves the ball at will on the starters. And don't try to sell me wolf tickets during the offseason when you tried to lie all last season to keep him off the field. Because we know who Mighty Mouse Jag Rudy from Notre Dame Taylor Heineke is. We know what he is. We know the fans love him. And the fans think he's something he's not, which is a starting quarterback. He's not that. He's a really high-end backup quarterback. And if you need him to come in for 2 or 3 weeks, he'll squeak out some dubs for you. Not a starter. And after seeing 16 starts of him in 2021, we decided we wanted to start him a bunch of games in 2022 because we wanted our own little Mickey Mouse playoff victory. We wanted to get into the playoff. And honestly, we sold ourselves short. We should have seen more of Sam Howell, but we finished 8-1. We're not picking high in the draft. We're picking 16, which is dead in the middle of the 32-team league because that's where we belong because we're consistently mid. We are the mid boys. Mid boys for life is the motto I like to say to a lot of fans. We live together, we die together. Mid boys for life.
That's fire, bro. That's fire. We're going to take a look at some departures, some new arrivals, and then we're going to jump into the draft. Let's take a look at who we got in the chat. Shout out to Nick McAllister. He says, what's up? Congrats on 1,000 subs. Thank you, bro. Really, really appreciate that. We got my brother, Eddie Glover, in the building. He says, Mo's Nose in the building. Appreciate you, Eddie. Thank you so much for stopping by. Nick says, have you done the Steelers yet? I have not done the Steelers yet. So, Nick, if you are a subscriber, one, I appreciate you. And make sure you hit that bell icon so that you get notified when new content drops at Mo's Nose. We are on episode 16, which is the Commanders. Episode 17, since we are following the first round draft order, will be the Steelers. So that is the next episode that we'll be dropping on the channel. So stay tuned for that. And my baby's in the building. Mrs. Mo's Nose came through to drop the hearts for your boy. As always, I love and appreciate her, man. Her support through this journey of creating content and starting Mo's Nose has been paramount. And, you know, me keep going. Nick says never gave up. And the reason why I didn't give up, one of the main reasons is her putting that battery in my back. So appreciate my baby for stopping by. All right, so let's take a look. So I'm on the free agency list. We got some guys that left. So you talked about backup Taylor Heineke. He's gone. He's with the Falcons. He's not coming back. Nothing you got to worry about. Carson Wentz got him up out of here. Now we talked about that last year.
Yep.
And I gotta give you your credit, Rio. You shot him so much bail. You gave him every single chance to come in and redeem himself. And in Carson Wentz fashion, he let everybody down.
Of course.
J.D. McKissick, Cam Sims went to the Raiders. Wes Schweitzer went to the Jets. No more Trey Turner. No Nick Martin. John Bostic is gone. Cole Holcomb is gone. And Bobby McCain is gone. Of those names, is there anybody that you are going to miss for your Commanders?
I'm probably sound like an asshole, but no. Like, to be perfectly honest, that whole list is less than mid. Like, they're most like Cole Holcomb's the most solid guy on that list. But let our fan base tell it. Cam Sims and Cole Holcomb were like losing Hall of Fame caliber players. Cam Sims has 57 career catches, but our fan base busted open like that guy is the second coming of Michael Jackson. Like, it's crazy, bro. They be ready. What we do here is we give these clout badges to the most randomly selected guys because they're likable guys instead of what they actually produce on the field. I do not care that any of them is not on my team anymore, to be perfectly honest. Well, 7, 8 wins, and I'm going to care when somebody not on the roster no more. There's like 3 or 4 blue chip guys on the roster. If it's not one of them leaving, then why would I care, bro? All of them, I wish them the best on their endeavors elsewhere. I loved it when you were with the Burgundy and Gold. Don't care what you're doing anymore, though.
And I mean, really, what was Cam Sims going to do?
You
got Terry McLaurin. You got Curtis Samuel. Jahan Dotson came in and stepped up and showed that he's a valuable piece. That 3-headed monster right there, that is a young wide receiver core that deserves a lot of respect. And I think as they continue to grow and develop, and as long as the quarterback develops, they're going to earn that respect because that's a trio that's going to be very, very hard to deal with.
Yep, and the 4th receiver played college football and is in the league because of the quarterback that's here right now. De'Ami Brown played with Sam Howell at UNC. He's going to get all the other reps that's left. So 6'5" special teams playing Cam Sims. I really don't understand why our fans cry over when players like this leave, but he's a great guy. He's cool as hell. I've met him multiple times. Cool as hell. Probably the funniest guy in the locker room. I'm sure he'll be missed from a locker room standpoint. I wish him the best in Vegas, though, man. Get yours. Get on the field and make your pop out there, bro. The fans been waiting for him to break out for years. It would be nice to see him get on the field, but that's a log jam at wide receiver over in Vegas, too. So best of luck.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now we got your arrivals. Obviously, the biggest is not an arrival, but Deron Payne signing a contract extension, staying there for the long haul. We got Jacoby Brissett coming in, signing a 1-year deal. Offensive tackle Andrew Wiley coming in on a 3-year deal. Some other notable names: Nick Gates, Tyler Lawson, Cody Barton, David Mayo, Cameron Dancer claimed off of waivers from the Vikings, and cornerback Danny Johnson. Of these, the newcomers, who are you excited to see lace it up for the Commanders?
I would probably say Andrew Wiley because he's the most highly sought after free agent that we went after here. Right tackle. The offensive line needs work. It wasn't good last year. I think the offensive line, I think that narrative gets a little overblown by the fans, and I think the quarterback play affected it just as much as the line play. But we bargain bin shop here in Washington. So Ron is not going to go out when the tampering period begins and go make a signing or a transaction that's going to knock the socks off the fan base because we're not shopping for Louis. We don't do that here. We go to the Dollar Tree and we get what we can. We're the first in line for the Black Friday deal. So Andrew Wiley, Nick Gates, cool. Jacoby Brissett, I like having his mind and his experience here to help mentor Sam Howell. And let's call a spade a spade. Ron's going to say the word competition all offseason to try to fool us. You're not going to fool me, my guy. There is no quarterback competition here. And if for any reason Jacoby Brissett starts week 1 for this team, the season goes into effect as an absolute disaster because you told me all offseason that we're not interested in a guy like Lamar Jackson and we're going to roll into the season with Jacoby Brissett. No, show me Sam Howell. That's who I want to see. 23-year-old guy going into the season with arm traits, and he's not coming in unpolished. He's refined and has skills. Nothing we did during free agency excites me, but we were active as far as placing need. We attacked need early in free agency. The excitement probably won't start till the draft starts. So I'm ready for that in 3 weeks.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's dive right into that. Let's first take a look at the depth chart. Now I have the depth chart pulled up here. Let me know if you guys can see that. Hopefully it's clear enough for you guys to see. I probably just made it smaller. So we got Sam Howell, the starter, Jacoby Brissett, the backup. We got Brian Robinson Jr., Antonio Gibson. I wouldn't say running back is a need for this team. We talked about wide receivers, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, Diami Brown. Even if you want to go with MILF Hunter, Dax Mill, we can go there. Tight end. Maybe I would look at upgrading that tight end spot.
I would upgrade it.
Logan Thomas has been a steady veteran, but getting up there in age, injuries, not consistently staying on the field. Offensive line to me is pretty solid. Maybe Charles Leno Jr. has another year or two, but I would look to try to find a replacement for the future. Andrew Norwell, maybe the same thing. We got Chris Paul behind him, who we drafted in the later rounds last year. Nick Gates brought in Tyler Lawson, still have Sam Cosmi, brought in Andrew Wiley. So on the offensive side of the ball, are there any positions where you're focusing your attention?
All right, so a couple positions that would not appear outside of the area that we need to upgrade at, that I think we should in the draft. Antonio Gibson's contract expires at the end of the year. I'm not re-signing Antonio Gibson next year. So running back in the draft, there's going to be one taken. And it'll probably be on day 2 of the draft, could be day 3. You can find a late round gem, but I wouldn't be mad if we took one earlier because there's some guys in this class I like. We should absolutely be upgrading the tight end position because Logan Thomas, great guy, great story. He's cooked, bro. He's cooked. He was 80% of the season last year. He was dragging around that surgically repaired knee, and we got 0 production by the tight end position. I think we had 400 total yards and 2 touchdowns from the tight end position last year. That's not going to get it. And this is the best tight end class we've seen in the draft in the last 10 to 12 years. So give me a guy. If you're not going to be early, if it's not going to be early like a Kincaid, a Mayer, Darnell Washington, Luke Musgrave or somebody, there's some guys that I'm looking for on the back end of the draft as well. It's a deep tight end class. Need one of those. I think the pick on night 1 is going to be
save that. Don't give it away now. Don't give it away now.
Position. I think
don't give it away now. Just let me know where your areas of focus may be on the offensive side of the ball.
I think Ron focuses on the O-line. I think a back is drafted, and I'm hoping they're not going to just run it back with the tight end group. I hope we're bringing in some talent in there. But I think the O-line is the priority still. The left guard spot is the biggest need on the offensive side off first glance.
Bet.
Andrew Norwell sucks.
Yeah, I think he's cooked as well.
Yeah.
Moving to the defensive side of the ball. Now, this front is probably the shining light of this team. We know Chase Young is coming back, and he's going to be healthy. We re-signed Deron Payne, so he's happy. He's got his paycheck. Jonathan Allen coming back. Montez Sweat. I love Fedarian Mathis. I was a big fan of him last year. He landed with this team. Absolutely amazing pick. Looking at the linebacker position, I think this is where we need to start finding some pieces. So we have David Mayo, Cody Barton, Jamin Davis. Davis is cool. Not really a fan of Mayo and Barton. So that Mike linebacker, that Will linebacker, those are 2 positions that I'm looking at. Secondary, pretty solid. Kendall Fuller, Benjamin St. Juste, Cameron Curl, Derek Forrest, Cameron Dancer, who we picked up off of waivers from the Vikings. But this area, to me, maybe could find some depth. You as, again, Chief Commander, what are some areas on this defense that you're looking to focus on?
Hey, you're right on the head for what we need, but you would fans that pay attention closely here. The biggest value spot that we need someone there. We need a bona fide cornerback 1. I like Benjamin St. Juste. I like Kendall Fuller. I think they're both cornerback 2s. We need a cornerback 1 or a really juiced up corner that could play inside and outside. We need some speed. I think the combined cornerback room, they're all running 4.5, 4.6 40s, bro. We need a 4.3 guy there. And well, at least Fuller at this point. Fuller's speed isn't as what he was coming out of college after a couple injuries, but we desperately need some juice in the cornerback room. Other than that, linebacker. Jamin Davis needs a running mate there. We signed Cody Barton to be the Mike backer here. We're going to see how that works. I think it's pretty much a lateral move from Cole Holcomb, but they can use an athletic freak at that position. A sideline to sideline, green dot dog in the middle. But those are the only two spots. And if we're really paying attention, an edge guy wouldn't surprise me in the first 3 rounds because we have to pick now. After we committed to Duran and Jonathan Allen, we have to pick between Montez Sweat and Chase Young for who gets a contract. They're playing for one extension, so it may be time to put a successor to one of those guys on the roster.
Hey, that is something that I wouldn't have thought, but you're absolutely right. If you sign both of your interior guys, are you going to have enough capital to be able to keep both of your edge guys? So, you know, if the goal is to stay with Chase Young, who has the higher upside, then maybe letting Montez Sweat walk in free agency. And like you said, finding his successor. We got some young guys here, Shaka Tony, Casey Toohill. They haven't yet stepped into that role. So if we can bring somebody else, find someone else to come in and fulfill that spot, I think that is a great area for us to go in. That's perfect. So let me stop sharing that.
Oh, let me add, before we get off the topic though, let me hip you to something that's happening over here.
Okay.
They're still pondering whether they're going to pick up Chase Young's 5th-year option, bro. So
really,
I would say as of today, April 4th, Montez Sweat is in the lead to get the contract extension because while Chase Young has the upside, he doesn't have the production and he looks like a diminished version athletically of himself. This is a huge year for Chase Young. Chase Young has to perform this year or like it may be curtains for the boy. Like I love the idea of Chase Young. I want him to be special. We're now in year 4 of Chase Young, and the man does not have a pass rush plan or a pass rush move at this point of his career, and Montez Sweat is the more consistent player. I didn't want it to be this way, but that's the way it's turned out. They're still pondering. They have about a month left to decide whether they're picking up his 5th-year option. They got to pick it up because it's $17 million, and you got to at least have him play out his first-round contract. But the fact that it's a thought process, and Ron's like, we'll let the new owners come in and decide whether they want to do with that. That tells you a lot about what they think he has left in the tank and how he fits into the long-term plans here.
Bro, did you just drop a bombshell on my show right now? Wait a minute. They're thinking the number 2 overall pick, Chase the Predator Young. They're thinking about picking up his now.
He ain't been as advertised, bro. I'm gonna keep it a whole 100,000 with you.
I mean, I get that. I get that, but like
you got to pick up the option though.
Yeah, you got to pick up the option. But what if? And I think it would be a really, really bad move for new ownership to come in and not pick up that 5th-year option.
They will.
But let's play devil's advocate. What if they come in and they want to establish a whole new culture? And part of establishing that whole new culture is to make this team, you got to earn it. And if what they're getting from the coaching staff and what they're seeing from his tape, his film, his numbers, his production, the injury that he sustained, if all of that collectively says he hasn't earned it, what if they say, we're not going to pick it up. We appreciate your time here. Maybe if you perform well, we'll give you another contract, maybe another 1-year prove-it deal for you to then maybe go earn it, and get that big bag. But what if they say we're not picking up the 5th-year option? Like, how do you think that'll play with the fan base?
I think the fan base is gonna lose their mind because a lot of them still have the blinders and the burgundy coated lenses on when it comes to Chase Young. I mean, they lose their mind when we cut guys like Kelvin Harmon, who didn't even sniff an NFL roster in 2022. So they'll definitely flip shit when we do that with Chase Young. But the objective part of the fan base that actually pay attention, the ones with boots on the ground out at training camp, the ones who know, he ain't been as advertised yet. Yes, he got hurt. Like, you're a 49ers fan. You know who also tore their ACL? Nick Bosa. Mm-hmm. You know what he's done after? Be great. Be
18 and a half.
Phenomenal.
Defensive player of the year.
Defensive player of the year. They don't mention that the 10 games before his ACL tear, he had 1.5 sacks. He has his game is he's an elite run defender with a high motor, but he's invisible on passing down. And I hate to say this, but he doesn't have a pass rush plan yet. He doesn't. He just be running around. He's be running around vibing on the field with infectious energy, man. But this is the prove it year for Chase Young. If he becomes what he's supposed to right this year, he gets an extension, and Sweat's probably the guy on the outs. But and shout out to my guy Scotty down there. Woodbridge represent 703. That's
let's drop this right now. Hey, Scotty's in the building. Listen, man, we appreciate you for tuning into the show. He says, "What's up, Rio? What's up, Mose, man? What's going on, Scotty? Glad to have you. Thank you for tuning in, bro."
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my guy 703 in the building. But yeah, man, Chase, please show me something. I think he's trending towards Jadeveon Clowney territory, though, which is a solid NFL player, but not nearly what he was supposed to be as an athletic freak coming in.
I don't like to hear that, man. I had high hopes for Chase Young coming out of Ohio State. You know, they had back-to-back edge rushers go number 2 overall in the NFL draft. Like, he was supposed to be that guy. But from your standpoint, saying he doesn't have a pass rush plan, for those who may be tuning in or who may be watching the playback, just give them a little bit more insight as to what you mean. I know what you mean as somebody who's played defensive line, but give them just a little bit more in-depth of what you mean by him not having a pass rush plan.
In layman's terms, he kind of just be out there running around when the quarterback drops. Like, when you play at DeMatha Catholic out in DC, and then you play at Ohio State, you're this Greek god built guy. You can just out athlete everybody because no one on the field is athletic as you. Fast forward, you're in the NFL. These tackles can run and move like skill players, like receivers and running backs. And they also know how to use their hands. They're technicians. That running by stuff is not going to work on a Trent Williams. I know that guy very well, man. The day he retires, you might as well pre-order the gold jacket because he's different. That's not going to work in the league. And when you watched him at Ohio State, the one tackle that didn't allow him to do what he did versus everybody else was Rashawn Slater. And that's kind of been what he's – I've seen Chase Young have a pass rush plan one time. It was in a preseason game the year he got hurt versus Cam Newton and the Patriots. He put on a move, used his hands, got to Cam Newton. He doesn't use his hands well. It's kind of just, I'm going to get past you or get through you, or you got it, fam. And I see significantly lesser athletic players find their ways to the quarterback. Montez Sweat's thing is he gets to the quarterback as well as any edge in the league. He has a problem finishing. He doesn't always finish when he gets to him, but he's given us the 7 to 9 sacks a season, which is very good. And he's also an elite rush defender, and he's up there in pressures every season. I need Chase Young to be held at the standard of the 2nd overall pick in the draft. I understand he got hurt, and it was a bad injury. The patella graft, he had to take some of his patella tendon from the other knee to put it in the ACL tear. It's not a normal ACL tear, but there are no excuses for 9-9, the Predator, in 2023. It's time for us to see it, or we're never going to.
Ooh. All right, man. Listen. That is great analysis, and that is why I asked you on here. That is something that I didn't know from the outside looking in. Try to do as much research as I can But this is why we get the experts of all the individual teams when we can to come on to give us that little bit of extra knowledge that we may not have had the opportunity to know. So without further ado, Rio, let's jump right into this draft. So let's add it to the stream. We're going to put us down in the corner here. So I'm going to give you my thought process, what I'm thinking, but ultimately we're going to let you drive this as the chief commander. So we're going to select the commanders. We want all 7 rounds. Turbo's a little too fast. And then we'll just keep all of this how it is as default. So let's go ahead and enter this. Now, before I start the draft, we are at 16.
Mm-hmm.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picks in the 2023 NFL draft. Are you thinking about a trade moving up in the draft from 16 to a higher pick? Is that something in your thought process, or do you think the Commanders stay at 16 and see how the board develops?
Me personally, I would love it if we jumped up to grab one of 2 players. Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon, the cornerback, or Paris Johnson Jr., the tackle out of Ohio State. That guy looks like a bookend stalwart left tackle for the next 15 years. Other than that, we're either staying pat at 16 and we're seeing what the phones look like when we get on the board at 16 and letting the board speak to us.
Okay. So before I hit start draft, do you want to see if there's a team that we can move up with to try to get one of those guys? Or do you want to stay at 16?
Let's stay at 16.
Okay, let's stay at 16. We'll start the draft. All right, so at 16, let's take a look at what happened so far. So Bryce Young went 1. C.J. Stroud went 2. Will Anderson 3. Anthony Richardson 4. Jalen Carter 5. Tyree Wilson 6. Will Levis went 7th to the Raiders. Christian Gonzalez, the player that you mentioned, he came off the board number 8 to the Falcons. And then right after, Paris Johnson Jr. came off the board to the Bears. Peter Skoronski at 10. Jackson Smith and Jigba at 11. Devin Witherspoon at 12. Joey Porter at 13. Broderick Jones at 14. And Nolan Smith at 16. Now, PFF has our needs at quarterback, guard, center, and linebacker. Some of the top players that are on the board right now: wide receiver Quentin Johnston from TCU, defensive lineman Kalijah Kancey from Pittsburgh, safety Brian Branch from Alabama, edge rusher Lucas Van Ness from Iowa, tight end Dalton Kincaid from Utah. You mentioned corner, so Deonte Banks.
Yes, sir. That's my boy. My boy.
4-3 guy. You mentioned that earlier. I heard you mention that. Tackle Anton Harrison from Oklahoma is still here. Running back Bijan Robinson. A lot of guys still here. So give me your thoughts, what you're thinking at 16 with who's available on the board.
I like who's on the board. The corner, I'm loving Deonte Banks. I'm loving Brian Branch. But do we have any offers to trade back? What do we got? Is someone ringing our line right now?
Somebody is ringing our line. We got 5 offers to trade back. So it looks like the Bills want to move up from 27 to 16.
Okay.
The Chiefs want to move up from 31 to 16. The Rams are offering their second round pick, 36, to try to get up to 16. The Falcons are offering their second round pick, 44. And I don't even know why Cleveland picked up the phone, because they're not offering, they only offering 74. They try to go from 74 to 16.
What's Buffalo and Kansas City talking about?
So they didn't offer a package. So they let you create what you want to create. So they obviously want 16. And then the Bills have 27. And then you can continue to add on from there.
See if they try and give us 59. See if they try and give us 59 and we'll throw in 118 or something.
So this says this trade will likely be accepted, which means you can get a little bit more.
Okay. Then see if get 137 from him.
You can still get more.
Okay, well, we talking now. You know what? Take 118 off the board and see if they just feeling the.
I mean, you can take 118 off.
Give it to me. I want it right there. We're good. We're good.
Let's see. That trade was accepted.
We in business, baby.
So we pick up 27,
fleece that ass.
59, and 137. The Bills move up to 16. So now we're picking 27.
That would get a GM. That would get Brandon Beane fired. That's a ridiculous haul to move up 11 spots. But I ain't mad at it, man. Give me all the picks.
All right, let's resume the draft. Let's see what happened. Oh, they went up to get Bijan.
Ooh, hey, I love it.
No. I'm sorry. That Bijan went to the Steelers. I don't think that's right. Come on, PFF. They went up to go get Lucas Van Ness. So they wanted to beef up the pass rush.
That's nasty, though. That's nasty.
And then Deontay Banks comes off the board at pick 20 to the Seattle Seahawks. You mentioned Brian Branch. He goes to the Ravens at 22. Tight end Michael Mayer comes off the board at 24 to the Jags. And then Cowboys take Brian Brzee from Clemson. So now we're on the clock here at 27. Dalton Kincaid is still here. Anton Harrison. Edge rusher Will McDonald, the fourth, is still here. Wide receiver Josh Downs. DeJuan Jones, tackle from Ohio State. Those are our top 5. Let me know where you're going.
Scroll a little bit down. Let's see what else we got on the board right now. I want to see how – because what I see at this point, the big boy from Florida, Osiris Torrance, I could really see Ron taking him with this pick right here. But you know what? The way that this board is sliding, I may be able to get him in the second round, but he's one of the top guards in this class, and that's where I think Ron's going with it. But I think that's what Ron would do. But I would personally take Anton Harrison, the tackle out of Oklahoma, right here.
Okay, that's last and final.
Give me Anton Harrison. Let's go. Charles Leno.
Anton Harrison, tackle from Homa, is our first round pick at 27.
Sir.
And then we are right back on the clock at pick 47. And this is our pick. And then we're back on the clock again 12 picks later at 59, which is the pick that we just acquired from the Buffalo Bills. So we got our tackle. Osiris Torrance came off the board at pick 39 to the Panthers. So top available right now, Tanner McKee, Felix Azuma from Kansas State, linebacker Diane Henley from Washington State, tight end Luke Musgrave, Oregon State, wide receiver Nathaniel Dell from Houston. That's our top 5. We can scroll a little bit more if you see some names here. Let me know.
I see a name that's not supposed to be there. Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama. I'm sorry, bro. Like we need a change of pace back here, man. And Antonio Gibson's contract is expiring. We don't look no further. Come on down. You're a commander.
What a great pick, bro. I love Jahmyr Gibbs,
bro.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's Kamara 2.0 right there, man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Okay. So we've attacked the offensive side of the ball. We've got our tackle. We've got our running back. And now we are back on the clock at pick 59. This is the pick that we received from the Buffalo Bills. Give me your thoughts on where you want to go here.
Let me see. I like a couple guys I see on the board right now. And this is probably where I want my corner. Maybe if there's like a Julius Brents on the board or DJ Turner on the board. Let's look at what corners are available right now.
All right, so we got Garrett Williams from Syracuse, Trevius Hodges-Tomlinson from TCU, Eli Ricks is here, Clark Phillips III, Darius Rush, Jalen Jones, Jacorian Bennett, Caillou Blue Kelly, Jartavius Martin, DJ Turner, as you mentioned, from Michigan is here.
Yep.
Keitrell Clark, Riley Moss. This is a really deep corner class.
Oh, yeah, it's a good. Go back to the top of this list real quick. Let me see. Well, they have Garrett. I like Garrett Williams. They have him a lot higher than I would. You know what? Clark Phillips is calling me, but I think I might take a corner in the next round. Show me the guards and the linebackers on the board right now.
All right. So interior offensive lineman. We got Luke Weipler from Ohio State, center. Guard, we got Andrew Voorhees from USC. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL during the combine. And then we got Chandler Zavala from North Carolina State, Jared Patterson from Notre Dame, Jackson Kirkland from Washington. Those are the top guards that are on the board. And then if you want to look at linebackers, we've got Dorian Williams from Tulane.
Overshown is someone I'm looking at.
Overshown from Texas. Yeah. Ivan Pace, Cam Jones, Noah Sewell, Panay's little brother.
Yep.
So some guys here.
I like the linebacker board. We're not going there yet. Let me pull up the tight ends for me real quick. I know the time is ticking on the clock right now. We you know what I'm saying? We're doing our due diligence for sure right now.
Yes, sir. Tucker Kraft from South Dakota State, Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan, Zach Kuntz from Old Dominion, who had a crazy combine, Davis Allen from Clemson, Josh Wiley from Cincinnati, Will Mallory from Miami.
All right, pull the corners back up. We're going cornerback right here. Cornerback, come on down, Mr. Do we want to go LaDainian Tomlinson's nephew? We do need a nickel guy. You know what? Give me Clark Phillips III, Utah. Punch it in. Send it. Send it.
There it is at 59. Clark Phillips III. And then we are back on the clock at pick number 97.
Okay. Let me get the all prospects view.
Yep. So that's where we're at. So top, we have corner Garrett Williams, edge rusher Carl Brooks. He's more of a tweener. We got LaDainian's nephew still here. Running back Dwayne McBride, Tank Bigsby from Auburn, D lineman Moro Ajomo from Texas, Isaiah McGuire, edge from Missouri, KJ Henry, edge from Clemson, Jalen Jones, Luke Schumacher still here, tight end, Kendre Miller, running back from TCU, wide receiver Parker Washington from Penn State.
All right, pull them linebackers up right quick. I think we're going backer now. I'm thinking maybe Ivan Pace or Noah Sewell is just too stiff for me. Like, I like Noah Sewell, but he's just a little. Give me Ivan Pace Jr. Come on down. You're in the linebacker room, my guy.
Boom. Ivan Pace Jr. from Cincinnati at 97. Back on the clock at 118.
118, we're back on the clock. Right now, we're pretty much at the point of the draft where we're going best player that I see that I can identify. Let's see. You know what? Scroll down a little bit. I'm thinking something like an edge a center, or a wide receiver right now. Even a safety like Ronnie Hickman. I like him because we need to put more safeties on the back end of the roster. Not a starter necessarily, but pull up center.
Let's do that. Interior. So we got Olusegun Olowatimi from Michigan, Juice Scruggs from Penn State.
Brother, you just pronounced that name to absolute perfection. I could tell you've been watching your prospects. You had that joint in the Olusegun Olowatimi. My man been on his Rosetta Stone shit.
Hey man, I've been trying, bro. I've been trying to get something. It's still a couple of names that got your boy tripped up. It's still a couple.
Chandler Zavala, give it to me. Come on down.
Oh, you want guard Chandler Zavala right here?
Yeah, I want an interior guy, and that's the guy I want. Voorhees, if he didn't tear his ACL, that would be a home run right now, but he's hurt.
It would. Now, I do like KJ Henry from Clemson if you're looking at edge.
I like edge, but I think we're going to wait it out because, I want to take as many offensive players as possible because I'm of the thinking that the defense is so talented. There's such an influx of young talent throughout that defense. I almost just want to tell Jack Del Rio, just get it together with what's here already, and we need to just build everything around Sam Howell and this offense. So we need to make the offense as indispensable as possible and not have to put everything on the quarterback. Chandler Zavala, you're a commander.
Let's do it. All right, now 137 is our next pick here at the top of the 5th round. And look, KJ Henry is still on the board. Wow.
Bring him.
Didn't have to reach for him.
Bring him.
Boom. KJ Henry right here at 137.
We here.
Absolutely great pick. And 150, we're still on the, and your other guy is still here. This is falling in line. If you wanted to bring safety, Ronnie Hickman right there on the board.
The value is beautiful. Come on down, Commander.
This is falling beautiful. We have 3 picks left.
We got 3 picks left.
3 picks left. 193, 215, and 233.
The final kick's going to be a kicker. I'm going to do it every single time I mock draft this year. The penultimate pick most likely is going to be a quarterback, a Jake Hayner or somebody. So with this next pick, I want to take a skill player. I want a tight end or a wide receiver. So let me see what skill players are. Well, what wide receivers and tight ends are still available in this draft.
Okay, we got Ronnie Bell from Michigan.
Okay.
Jake Bobo from UCLA. Matt Landers from Arkansas. Elijah Higgins, Stanford. Justin Shorter.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody in this draft named Jadakiss Bonds.
Yo, that's a fire name, bro. Andy from Hampton?
Yo,
let's go.
I did not know that there's somebody in this draft named Jadakiss Bonds.
Hasselwood's a big
that's
boy.
Fire. And he goes to Hampton.
Yeah, that's dope. I like that.
That's fire. Let's
see what the tight end's hitting on.
Okay.
Let me see what the tight end's hitting on right now, man.
Davis Allen from Clemson and Will Mallory from Florida. 2 top guys. Still got Brenton Strange from Penn State.
Yep. Let me see. Give me Brenton Strange. Let's go.
Okay.
Now it's quarterback kicker time. Yep. Quarterback
193. 215.
Yep. Let me quarterback. Let me see what quarterbacks is here. Stetson Bennett shouldn't be on the board, so let's take him. Like, the fans are gonna die over Taylor Heineke. No, you know what? No, we're not doing the Heineke game right now. Jaron Hall beat YU. Come on down.
Boom.
We need a third quarterback. We need a camp guy. We need a young guy to grow behind Sam if Sam corrals the position. And instead of getting Taylor Heineke 2.0 and Stetson Bennett, give me the guy from BYU. Athletic, can sling it. Come on down.
Boom. You said the last one is going to be a kicker, so we'll go to special teams.
My Maryland boy, he was booming 60-yarders in the pro day the other day, and that's the kicker I want to take. I don't see the Ohio State boy there, but I wouldn't have took him anyway because I cannot unsee the game winner to win the national championship. I mean, to win the game versus Georgia. I can't unsee it. But Chad Ryland, Maryland, come kick field goals for my Washington Commanders because I think Joey Sly spends too much time in the weight room and not on the field kicking field goals because too many extra points and layups get left on the field. We need a kicker. Ryland, you're a Commander.
Let's do it. And that was our last pick. We'll finish this up and we'll take a look at the 2023 mock draft class.
Let's roll.
For the Washington Commanders. Okay, so we got a B+ for our trade, which I don't understand how we get all of this draft.
We fleeced them.
and honestly, I feel like I maybe it's because I feel like the way the system was looking, I feel like we could have got more. But also, we still want to make this realistic.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it real. I mean, I could have Sonny Weaver Jr. from draft day this thing and give me David Putney just because I feel like it. But I decided
we want to make it somewhat realistic. So they gave us a B+ for the trade. That's fine. At 27 in the first round, we take tackle Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. Then in round 2, pick 47, we get Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama. Also in round 2, pick 59, we take cornerback Clark Phillips III from Utah. Round 3, pick 97, we take Ivan Pace Jr., linebacker from Cincinnati. Round 4, pick 118, we take guard Chandler Zavala.
Oh, they must not have seen this tape. That boy mean.
He mean. He get the moving people out the way.
Yes, sir.
Round 5, pick 137, we take KJ Henry, edge rusher out of Clemson. 13 picks later, in round 5. We take safety Ronnie Hickman from Ohio State. Round 6, 193, we take tight end Brenton Strange from Penn State. Round 6, 215, we take quarterback Jaron Hall from BYU. And then round 7, pick 233, we take kicker Chad Ryland from Maryland. So overall draft grade is a B.
They lied.
I agree. I don't think they're telling the truth here. Being able to move back, still get a first round talent in tackle, still get Jahmyr Gibbs, who is a first round talent. We just understand that running backs don't get the same respect in their value. Um, being able to get Chandler Zavala and then follow that up with KJ Henry in round 5 and then Ronnie Hickman 15 picks later. And then getting, like you said, Chad Ryland, a young guy who's booting 60.
Yeah, he booting
Like,
60 at the
like
moment.
the ball it's just popping off his foot. So PFF, they be tripping sometimes. But if this was
They
the draft
just want you
time,
to follow their little board. Like, oh, how dare
yeah,
you pick a value
yeah,
that
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't have
How,
ranked?
how dare you not pick? How dare you not pick the guys that we deem to be great? But again, a great tool. Let me go ahead and save this, and then I can send that to you after we're done here. But if this was the draft haul for the Washington Commanders, how do you see this playing out? How do you see Ron Rivera and the Commanders coaching staff getting good utilization out of these young players here?
I'll tell you what, those top picks would have me salivating, bro. Like we're putting like let's call it whatever. Anton Harris would come here and start at left tackle. And Charles Leno, maybe we move him to right tackle and we push Wiley to guard, and him and Cosme are the two guards. But the second pick is the one that I would do backflips over. Jahmyr Gibbs would be the feature back of this offense. Brian Robinson would be the really good power back, and Antonio Gibson's the third down utility guy. But Eric Bieniemy would go absolutely berserk with Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, there's an argument to be made that I wouldn't be upset if we took Bijan in the first round. So if we were to get Jahmyr Gibbs, who should not be on the board at 47, he should be going on night 1 of the draft. That is a home run, grand slam, absolutely electrifying pick for the team. We got interior help on the line as well. We got an athletic linebacker out of Cincinnati. We got another edge to throw in the. I love it. I love the class, and I love the Jaron Hall pick because Jake Fromm is not going to cut it as quarterback 3 here. That never needs to happen again. I never want to see Jake from State Fromm on my football field ever again. Give me an athletic guy with some upside to be the potential backup to Sam in the future if he corrals the position. I love it. Let's roll.
Listen, man, I love it too. I think this continues to improve Washington's competitiveness in a division that is very competitive. The Eagles did lose some players, but they also gained some players. Dallas, they're trying to fortify their team as well. They've added a few pieces during the offseason, and the Giants are trying to continue to build on their success of last year. So you got to be able to stay competitive in this division. I think you start by, like you said, fortifying that offensive line with Anton Harrison, Chandler Zavala. You got to be able to protect Sam Howell. Whoever the quarterback is, you got to protect him. But I think it's a little bit more paramount when you're talking about a young quarterback, right? Then you bring a guy in like Jahmyr Gibbs, who not only can run between the tackles, but he gives you that added extra benefit of being able to catch the ball out of the backfield, a la Alvin Kamara, a la Christian McCaffrey, somebody who can do it all and stay on the field all 3 downs. Clark Phillips adds depth to the cornerback room. Ivan Pace, like you said, athletic linebacker. KJ Henry, if what you're saying is true, and if for whatever reason, Chase, and I hate to even just say this and put this in the atmosphere, but if for whatever reason Chase can't live up to that hype, then you have a guy in KJ Henry who you can also build and develop to eventually take that spot over. But we also understand this league is a quarterback-driven league, and the more pass rushers that you have, the better. The more you can keep those guys fresh, the more you can rotate those guys, the more you can come at the opposing quarterback with full force and not be tired once it gets into the fourth quarter, the more effective that you'll be able to be in stopping the other team's offense. Ronnie Hickman, Brenton Strange, Jaron Hall, and then Chad Ryland. You got to have somebody who can make clutch field goals at the end of the game. So I would be very, very excited about this draft if I was a Commanders fan. Rio, man, just give me your thoughts going into the draft. What does the Washington Commanders brass have to do to not mess this up?
I mean, it's not too hard because our roster to this point, it only has a few very glaring holes, but I don't know. They shouldn't be able to mess it up. Like, our roster's good. We have a good roster. It would be surprising if we took a quarterback round one. Would I be mad at it? No, because I like Sam Howell, but we can't act like the position can't be touched because he's there. But man, just follow the board. Let the board speak to you. Do not be pigeonholed and panicked into making any decisions. Listen to your scouts. Don't let the owner, like Dan used to do, come off the boat and make the pick. Like, just follow your guy. I don't really think that they're in a place where they can mess this up. So I'm good to go with it. If they took an edge round one, that's the way that they could mess it up. If they took an edge round one or a defensive lineman in general, I would turn the draft on.
So let's watch out for that, because if they say defensive tackle or edge and in the name, all I'm gonna do is text you, be like, "You, bro, are you good?" Like
turn this draft shit out.
Just like, yo, just don't, wherever you at, don't get in trouble. Just vent to me through text. Just cuss me out. Just cuss me out through text so that nobody in your close vicinity get that heat. Like, I'll take all the heat. Just cuss me out through text, bro. I'm here for you. Rio, man, we just under an hour. That's where I wanted to be. Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, man, for giving us insight on the Washington Commanders. For those who will be, tuning into this later, just give them information on where they can find you if they're Commanders fans and they may not be familiar with what you're doing over at Ramblin with Rio. Just let them know where they can find you. I also have the link in the description, but just go ahead and plug your channel and all those things.
Sir, appreciate you for having me. It was a joy, man. It was a joy. And I promise we're going to make up for last year, the 49ers Washington game. I'm kind of glad we didn't link, though, because y'all ended up busting our ass. But that's a conversation for another day. You see the handle in the bubble right there, at Rio_Robinson91 on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, the whole nine. Rio Robinson on YouTube. Show's called Ramblin with Rio, but Rio Robinson is the name on the YouTube channel. All things Washington Commanders. Got some cool stuff coming for the draft. And round one of the draft, I'm going to be with my group chat boys. We're going to be doing the same thing we did last year. Watch party. You're going to watch us react and live like absolute animals for 4 hours while the first round takes place, man. Love this season. Let's get it.
Absolutely, man. Listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning into this show. If you're a Commanders fan and you're not tapped in with what Rio's got going on, I have his channel linked in the description. Go over there and give him a subscription. If you're not subscribed to Mo's Knows, listen, we're covering all 32 NFL teams here, and we're going to continue to connect with other content creators, amazing creators like Rio, to give you insight into other NFL teams. But give me a subscription over here if you enjoyed this video. Throw a thumbs up, throw a like on it, hit that subscribe button.
Smash that
take
like.
Another 2 seconds and hit that bell icon so that you get notified when new episodes drop right here at Mo's Knows. You got anything else, Rio?
That's all I got for right now. Appreciate you, big dog.
Absolutely, man. Love and appreciate y'all, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
Deuces.